Hey guys, and welcome back. This is going to be part two for the snake game. So if you have not watched part one, which is coding the snake's head, please go back and complete that tutorial. This tutorial today is going to be talking about the eraser and the target. And so the way that this game works is as the snake moves, it's going to have a eraser that's the same color as the background that is erasing the end of the snake. And you're also going to have a target that is set where the snake, when it eats it, it's going to gain a score. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be coding the target today. So this is the snake code. You can see that when we hit play, there is an error. It says expecting list, but getting a number. And so we're going to code our target, and then we're going to come back in here and we're going to fix our trail. So let's go ahead and go over to our target sprite. And so you can see the target right now is just set as an arrow. And so in today's folder, you're going to be dragging out the apple. Okay, so we're going to go over here to costumes. You're going to be clicking on the apple. You're going to be saving that apple. And then from your downloads folder, you're going to go ahead and move that apple in. And when I have it saved, then I'm going to be dragging it into my costumes area. You can see that the apple shows up right here. And we may have to adjust that size later, but for now, that's great. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start coding our target. And so our target code is very simple, actually. So let's go over here to scripts. We're going to start with when I receive. So we're going to go over here to control, and we're looking for when I receive. And we're going to hit set goal. Okay, so when I receive set goal, then I'm going to start moving from random positions. But the first thing we're going to do, because this size is a little bit big, is we're going to go over here to the looks, and we're going to set that size to, let's test out 80%, see how that looks. All right, so that changes the apple size. And so if you want to make the apple smaller, you can, but we're going to keep it at 80%. Now I'm going to go here to motion. And the next thing I'm looking for is go to random position, right? So I'm going to be looking for go to random position. I'm going to put that in here. Then I'm going to go over to here, control, and I'm going to be repeating until not touching the trail. So remember in the first video, we made a touching trail block. And so we're going to go over here to our sensing. And we're going to pull out that touching trail block, and then we're going to go over here to operators, and we're going to look for a not. So not touching trail, put those together, and then put that repeat until not touching trail. Now we need to code that touching trail block. So we're going to go back to sensing, and so we're going to be coding it to where when it touches the XY, that is going to code true or false. So we're going to go back over here to touching trail down here. We're going to hit edit. And where it says report, you're going to be going over to your variables, and we're going to be looking for a contains. And so we're scrolling down here to this block right here. So blank contains the thing. We're going to put that in the report. We're going to drag a trail block here. And then right here, we're going to be putting a list for the X and Y. So we're going to drag a list over. You're going to click the arrow to give it 2 spaces, and then you're going to go over to your motion, and you're going to drag an X to the first space and a Y to the second space. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow that touching trail block to actually sense itself when it hits the X and Y. So we're going to hit apply, and then we're going to continue on with, let's go over here to motion. And we're going to select go to random position. So let's go here and put this in this block right here. All right, and the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go and code our eraser. Okay, so what I need you guys to do is you're going to add another sprite. And so the eraser is going to be the same color as our background. And so what I want you to do is go into today's folder, and you're going to go to the eraser color that we have. So make sure you click on the eraser. You're going to download it, save image as. You're going to save it, And then you're going to click that and drag that into your costumes. Okay. And you can see that our background is going to be this color right here. So the eraser is going to be the same color as our background. And so now what we have to do is go to our stage. You're going to go to paint a new costume. You're going to use this pipette tool, right? So it says pick a color from anywhere. We're going to choose the color of our sprite. So you can see that right there. And then you're going to use this fill a region, and you're going to fill this background with the same color as our sprite, which is going to be our eraser. And now you click OK. And so now you can see the eraser disappears. We're going to go back over to that eraser. We're going to name it eraser. So E-R-A-S-E-R, eraser. Okay. Now we're going to do our code for the eraser. So what the eraser does is it follows behind, and it is going to erase the trail of our snake based on a length that we set, right? So we can set it to start at 5 units. We can set it to start at 3 units, whatever we want it to start. And it's going to stay at that length unless we get an apple. Once we get an apple, it adds 1. And so what we're going to do is when I receive, follow. So when I receive, and the reason why we're choosing follow is because there's the command inside the snake is for follow, broadcast follow right here. So we'll go back over to your eraser. So when I receive the follow command, we're going to set our size to 100%. So that way we are making sure that we erase the entire piece. So set our size. Let's go to looks, set size to 100%. And then we're going to hide. So inside the looks, we're staying in looks. We're going to go to the hide block. So when I receive follow, set size to 100%, then hide. Then we have to go back over to control. And what we have to do is we have to set those parameters. So we're going to use a forever block. And inside that forever block, we're going to go wait until. And now we have to build this. Okay, so wait until, and this is going to be a little complex. So we're going to look for a greater than sign. So blank is greater than blank. And we're looking for variables. So now we're going to go back over to our variables. And we're going to look for. And we're looking for blank of blank.
2 hours later.
Blank of blank. Here we go. Okay, so length of, and so we're going to put this right here. Length of, and then we're going to take a trail and put it on this side. So length of trail is greater than, and now we're going to use another variable. We're going to go up here to operators, and we're looking for plus, so blank plus blank, and then we're going to use another set of variables, and we're looking for a multiplication. So here in the first block, we're going to put, it's going to be blank times blank plus blank. Go back over to your variables. You're going to drag in score times, and then this is where you set your length. And so we're going to start our length at 3 plus 3, okay? And then you're going to put that whole area. You're going to drag this up to this side. So wait until length of trail is greater than score times 3 plus 3. Okay, so we're going to put this inside of our forever block. And now we have to set where we're going to be starting, right? So we're going to go to, and we're looking for an X and Y. And now we have to set that. Okay, so we have to go over here to our variables, and we're going to look for item. So I'm looking for an item block because I'm looking for something that's going to set a number, right? Have a value. And so I'm not sure if this has, yep, item. Okay, so I'm going to use item, and it's going to be one of, and then we're going to do, so we're going to put that into our X block right here. Item of, one of, and then item last. And we're going to do another one of these. Let's do this real quick. Let's duplicate. So we need 2 of these. And then we're going to do item. And then we're going to choose last of trail. And I know this is a little confusing, guys, but bear with me here. And so what this is going to be doing is it's going to go to the X. So the X on the X axis, item 1, which is the head of the snake, right? Of item last of trail. So we want to have with this right here, this set of 3, it's going to stay at 3 last of trail. Okay, and so what this eraser is going to be doing is following behind, making sure that stays at the length of 3 because we have it set at 3, right? Until it eats an apple. Okay, and so we have to do the same thing for the y-axis. So we're going to take this out again. We're going to duplicate it again so that way we don't have to do it twice. I'm going to put both. So we have the item X, 1 of item last of trail, and then the y-axis is going to be item last of item last of trail. Okay, and so what this is doing is X and Y. So the X-axis and the Y-axis, and so we're making sure that wherever this snake is going, we're following behind with this eraser, which is the same color as our background, and we're erasing that trail until it hits that apple. Okay, and so we're going to put this here. And so remember, now we need a stamp. And so the stamp, what it's doing is it's stamping that onto the background. And then we're going to go over here to our variables, and I'm looking for a delete, some type of a delete. Here we go. So delete, and we're going to change that to last, and we're going to take a trail onto here. And I'm going to put that below the stamp. So now what we have to do is we have to code the trail. Okay, so now let's go back over to the snake. And so what I want you guys to do is you're going to click on your trail, make sure that it is visible, click on this X, then you're going to hit list. What that list is going to do is it's going to bring up a list right here. Okay, now over here you're going to click on the trail again. It's going to bring up that same list. You're going to hit plus 3 times. Okay, plus 3 times. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to code in our trail variable right now, okay? And that's just saying that we're keeping it at 3 lengths. And so now when I press plus, it should start the snake. Here we go. All right, so it's looking pretty good. So now what we have to do is we have to adjust it a little bit. We have to adjust it a little bit to make it look like these are separate body pieces, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my snake. I'm in my snake code right now. We finished with the eraser. We've finished with the target. Now we are in the snake. And I'm going to set that size. So I'm going to go to looks. I'm going to set size. I'm going to put that right above my go-to X and Y. And I'm going to set that to 80%. Let's see if that will fix. There we go. Okay. And so you see when I set that size, now I have some separation. Okay. So last thing we want to do is go back over to our variables. We want to click off the trail so that way it's not visible. And now when we click start, every time we hit that apple, we should get 1 point. And our snake should expand by multiply times 3 plus 3. Okay. And so remember, if you want to change the starting length, if you want to change how big the snake gets, that is all going to be inside your eraser. Okay. So say we started with 1 plus 3. Okay. So when I start off with 1, it's going to be at 3. And now you can see as I get an apple, I'm getting 1 piece at a time. That may make it a little bit easier for you, may extend out your gameplay a little bit. That's where that piece of code is, okay? So it's multiplying times score times 1 plus 3, okay? And then it ends when it gets to the edge. So the last thing that you guys might want to do is you might want to add some sound in to the file, okay? And so this is going to be where I leave you guys off. I'm going to add 1 piece of sound, and then you guys, if you want to, you will add something to improve this game, okay? So you're going to change the snake's head, maybe change the background color if you would like to. You're going to add additional sound. If you want to add additional sound on the target, you can. We are going to add one piece of background sound right now. So let's go over here to when the flag is clicked. We're going to hit on our sound icon. We're going to hit play sound. And we're going to select our background sound. And so inside the folder for today, again, go into your sounds. And I want to look at the background sound. Now, if you're doing this and you don't see any folders, you can download sounds from multiple places. Some are, look up freesound.org. That's a great place to start. And so I'm going to download a sound called Runaround, background runaround, okay? And so when I click on the background runaround, I'm going to go over here to my sounds. I'm going to drag in background runaround. This is what you guys should be dragging in today. And this is what it's going to sound like. And so back over to scripts. Last thing we're going to do is just select that. And now when I hit start, this is what it's going to sound like, right? And so like I said, if you want to add sounds when the snake eats an apple, that's good, right? If you want to add a different sound, if you want to add an end screen, those are all things that you can do. And what I want you guys to do is come up with at least 3 different ways to improve this piece of code, right? 3 different ways that you can improve this game. So last thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our projects. We're going to hit save. Make sure it saves. Make sure it's uploading. Hit saves, right? And you're going to submit for today. That is it, guys. That is the snake game. Very simple. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe and have a great day.